What's good, y'all? We got Afro Latinos expose Hispanics for saying this about blacks. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, cause we on the road to 100K. Hey man, let's see what it's hitting for.
While the ICE raids continue, the beef between blacks and Mexicans continue to get worse. Mexican OT, a Hispanic rapper, defended his right to use the N-word and told other people that had a problem with it, what are you going to do about it? And of course, this put off an alarm to the African American community. Number one, Hispanics are replacing blacks in America, and not just Mexicans. We're talking about Colombians, we're talking about Dominicans, we're talking about Venezuelans,
The
and
motherfuckers be duplicating, boy.
of course, Mexicans. This takes away the opportunities.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The black household is so fucked up. Why you think they're passing us right now, bro? Cause we're fucked all the way up, bro.
From blacks to get
And it's not our fault, but we have to understand that but you don't just make, and blame everything on the system. You don't just do that, bro, because this is a new world, bro. But that is the reason why we are so fucked up now. Once you wake up and you understand that and you start moving and applying that to your life and doing different, you'll be all right, bro. But you'll have a good family, But that's the reason why our shit's fucked up, bro.
and of course Mexicans.
That's the reason why they're passing us as the minority, bro.
This takes away the opportunities from blacks to get what they want, such as civil rights. And if you look at civil rights, the Hispanic struggle for civil rights is closely tied to the black civil rights struggle. So then they also benefit because they're minorities. And at the same time this is happening, a lot of Hispanics are now overrunning historical black communities, especially in LA and Chicago,
Bro,
and places like that. We already know the tension between blacks and Mexicans and the recent migrant crisis over the last 2 years. This has created a conundrum in which Hispanics and blacks are at each other's necks. And we all know that the ICE raids are one big part of it. You see, blacks are not supporting Hispanics in the ICE raids, and that's for good reasons. But we're going to also talk about one thing that's particular: the disrespect from the Hispanic community.
Dick's epic 4th of July sale is on. Take 20% off bog bags and igloo coolers. 25%
towards blacks. Rewind! Let's go back to Mexican OT and his right to want to use the N-word. Although this is insensitive and disrespectful, you also want to use the N-word while attaching yourself to hip-hop culture, which also is black. Not only do you want to display yourself as a gold-toothed Mexican / black style rapper, you want to be able to say whatever you want to say about black people. But not all Hispanics feel this way.
Latinos and Hispanics, more specifically non-black Latinos and Hispanics, will pretend that the N-word is not offensive, but then get offended by being called something like Latinx. Non-black Latinos will pretend that the N-word is not offensive, but then get offended when you ask them to not use the N-word.
Bro, it's offensive when your whole entourage and all you hang out with is Mexicans, bro, and you don't got no black homies, bro, and you're saying it around them. It's disrespectful when even a white boy. It's disrespectful when you're a white boy, bro. And yeah, you might have some black homies and they cool with you saying it around them, but then you go around a whole grip of new black people that you don't even know, bro. They gonna look at you crazy, you get to hollering at, bro. They gonna look at you crazy.
A common thing that you'll hear Latinos say when they're called out for using the N-word is, well, if I can't use it, they can't use it either. They referring to black people. And that begs the question, why do you want to say it so much? Latinos, you have so many alternatives to use. Latinos have a whole other language of words.
The problem is with these American Mexicans, bro. Their culture is also our culture, bro. In a sense, they don't have. If they grew up in America, they know black. They know the black street. If they're from the struggle, they're from the hood. They know about the black American struggle, bro, because they're a part of it. The Mexican OT is not a fucking Mexican from Mexico, bro. It's two different. Them Mexicos from Mexico, they not saying nigga. They not throwing that shit around, bro. The ones out in LA, bro, they not just tossing that shit around like that, bro. Lefty Gunplay came out, Ben said he don't even use that shit. He'll never say it. You know what I'm saying? Just varies, bro. You know?
Can't use it. They can't use it either. They referring.
But to think that you're Mexican and you're just entitled to say it, bro. Like, if no black people fuck with you at all, though, then you're just saying it. You know, you're just saying it. Then it's like, if you get around them and they don't fuck with you, then it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
To black people. And that begs the question, why do you want to say it so much? Latinos, you have so many
They don't have
alternatives to use.
they don't have that's what I'm saying, bro. They don't have these Mexican Americans. They don't have they're not hip to the Mexico culture, bro. To the Mexico slang and all that, bro. They don't say homes and shit, bro. They're not real, bro. They're Mexican Americans, bro.
Latinos have a whole other language of words that they can use instead of the N-word, like fu, ese, whatever you want. But instead you choose the N-word.
Right.
And it's one thing to use the N-word and then change your language when somebody tells you it's not okay. It's another thing to defend your use of the N-word because you're too lazy to expand your vocabulary. And a lot of Latinos will go on and say, well, it's not that big a deal, you know? I have black friends and I say it around them and they don't mind. And that's fine. Sure, if your black friends are okay with you saying that, that's them. But let's be honest. If you are a non-black person using the N-word, you are very careful with who you use that word around.
Right,
In this particular clip, this guy is saying, listen,
you don't just come around saying that shit like that, bro.
Hispanics understand that it is wrong for them to use the N-word, all right? They understand that. And we have many other words to do it. But again, at the same time, if you call Hispanics Latinx, they are upset. And this is a hypocrisy that the blacks see.
It's because those are not words that are mainstream. You know?
The black community has historically stood up for Hispanics in America in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And when they've stood up for them, they've gotten nothing in return. And in some parts of the country, like Los Angeles and Chicago, they've seen their neighborhoods overrun with Hispanics. And then also now these Hispanics are hostile towards these very same blacks. And then to make it worse, while this is happening, you still want to be able to have access to the N-word, but you don't want blacks to be able to call you the same thing.
What?
But it gets worse.
Because you know that the moment you use it around the wrong person, that you will get checked, and it won't be as nice as somebody telling you to not use the word anymore. Let's stop playing dumb. I heard somebody say that if we can't use the N-word, then black people can't eat tacos. As if eating some culture's culinary items is the equivalent of using a racial derogatory slur that was meant to dehumanize people. It is not the same. It is not an equivalency. Don't play dumb, because the moment you try to defend your use of the N-word and you are non-black, all you do is let other people know that you aren't playing.
What if black people, or what if Mexicans actually came up with the ER version of the N-word, bro? Because, you know, Negro is black in Spanish. They say, apparently, you know, Mexicans was already in America, bro. They had Texas, right? Unless my history is, it might be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I remember they telling us that we went to war with Mexico, or we bought it, the Louisiana Purchase. Saying you Louisiana fast is hard, my nigga, low key. The Louisiana Purchase, anyways, is where I think Texas was bought, right? Nah, because it was just that slither of Louisiana, and then it was like everything is like funneled out type shit. So it wasn't even like all of Texas. So you can argue that they was already. Where am I even going with it? Hold on, let me back up.
Not the same. It is not an equivalency. Don't play dumb, because the moment you try to defend your use of the N-word and you are non-black, all you do is let other people know that you aren't playing. You're just actually dumb.
He then says, you might be able to say the N-word, but you
I forgot what the hell I was going with that. I ain't gonna lie, it happens.
would watch who you say it around, because you don't want to get checked, or even worse, which is also hypocrisy. You have the opportunity to use any other word that you have, but you don't want to do it, and you're careful of who you want to use it around because you know it's offensive. But at the same time, let us call you Latinx or anything else, then you will be ready to fight. But it gets worse. Fast forward. I came across a particular video of a black brother by the name of Mr. Machine God. And he noticed that something was going on in protests during ICE raids.
Go home. Take your ass home. If you're an undocumented individual and you're in American streets today rioting while waving a foreign flag, the national flag or your national pride or whatever you're trying to display out there, protesting the fact that this government is trying to send your ass back to where you came from, but yet you're proudly representing your country with your flag, you've lost the plot, brother or sister. Take your home. I'm sorry, go home. And I'm supposed to be this bleeding heart that says, no, these people are here to make a life for themselves.
Now, he's speaking as an American citizen.
Where the hell was I going with that shit? What?
But let's break
I be hating that shit.
it down to what this means for the average hashtag FBA or the African American or somebody in that genre, whatever you want to identify as hashtag ADOS, freedman. He's saying, listen, you guys are out here with your flags and you are out here representing your countries. And in this case, Hispanic countries, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Mexico. But then you don't want to go back to these countries, although you're over here illegal. But you're taking away the opportunity from an actual citizen. And this is also a hypocrisy that many blacks see. So let's go back to number one thing. You want to use the N-word, some of you, right? But at the same time, you don't want to be called Latinx. You don't want to support what blacks want to support, although blacks have supported you. You stay silent on the issues that bothers blacks, but you want blacks to support you and your family since undocumented migrants and other people are being deported. Well, why don't you go home? All right? You don't want to go home because you know what's going to happen if you do go home.
He's right, you know.
This is a brother that is from the Afro Latino community. He summed it up very nicely.
Man, stop trying to convince these people that we need to stand together and all that. They ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. They've been betrayed so many times, bro. 1877, after federal troops pulled
I
out
just
of
don't
the
feel
South,
like, bro. I just don't feel like stand with them for what? Illegal immigrants. Black people are not illegal immigrants. The Mexican Americans protesting doesn't make sense if you're legal. Now, I understand you might have family there, illegal, whatnot. Okay. But now you're kind of exposing yourself by going out there, getting arrested, whatever you're doing. You know, but if they already know type shit, then they already, your whole family's probably cooked anyways. But still, man.
betrayed.
It's time to finally refresh your bathroom and create a space you'll love. Get started. Floor and Decor can help.
Have you ever run a background check on yourself? Oh, that's
Two
so
back-to-back
crazy.
unskippables.
40 acres and a mule, betrayed. You feel me? Jim Crow, betrayed. Redlining, betrayed. Every promise that this...
So, Jim Crow, Mexicans. So, I mean, okay, kind of back to what I was saying earlier, like the Mexicans. So, I guess like if they was here first, they got their land took after war or whatever. Then I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I feel where the Mexicans is coming from, talking about stand together type shit. But then again, as far as history knows, what we was told in the books is what I'm going off of, bro. Not what everybody else got their own conspiracies, whatever. I'm going off what is taught up in school, bro. They say the Mexicans was in like south to Texas, bro, only. Or like the south, you know, southwest type shit. They bought the Louisiana Purchase. They didn't end up going to war about it and some more shit. And so I guess that's where they want to say let's stand together. I guess. But it goes back to what I've been saying in all my other videos, bro. If you're an illegal immigrant, you know that going across the border, any border in the world, bro. It doesn't matter if you're an American trying to go to fucking Europe. It doesn't matter. They have a naturalization process that you have to go through. You have to have some type of documentation from your home country. If you don't have that, if you don't go through the process, you cannot become a citizen, bro. That's the way it is anywhere in the world, bro. You can't just up and move. You can't just go and do what you want. No, you have to go through a whole fucking process, bro. And they're not going through that process. They know they're not going through that process. So they know if they get caught, that's the life that they live, man. It's unfortunate, yes, but that's the life that they live, bro. So this is nothing more than fucking propaganda, bro. That's all this shit is, bro. Now this Mexican OT shit is a whole different thing. You know, having the N-word passing, but it plays correlation because the times we're in right now. You know,
This country is made to them.
they say they was already in Texas, just barely though, the south of Texas, which may or may not be true. They may have already been here, bro, and gave black people the ER where, and then the white people came and destroyed all. That's why Indians look Mexican and Asian. You know what I'm saying? Like full bloods, bro. They look Mexican or Asian, one of the two, bro. Like a cross between Mexico, Asian, fucking, and Eskimo, nigga. They all look the same, damn near, bro.
Has been a false promise. And now we need y'all to stand with us while we march. Like, leave them people alone. They ain't trying to hear that shit. They ain't trying to hear that shit. Because they know how prevalent racism is in our community. And they know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's propaganda, bro.
Room. And they know.
Trump gets in office and ICE has always been there, bro. ICE is nothing new. Donald Trump did not create ICE. ICE has been there. They've been doing their jobs. Now that Trump he's going a little bit harder. They're cutting money here and they're putting more money into it. You know? The agenda though, the media, the news, America is built off of racism, bro. So this is what we have to talk about right now. Just pay attention. There's always something that's going to be in the news. We got war and we got racism right now. America's going fucking in war right now, and we're dealing with some racism shit at the same time. What's really going on though, bro? This is a distraction.
Now y'all got y'all N-word wake up. Didn't y'all? Y'all got that Paul Mooney N-word wake up call, and now y'all want to scream.
What's really going on is the economy is fucking collapsing, bro. Everybody's getting broker and broker.
Charity. Nah, bro. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. The people that have been working together will continue to work together. The people that have empathy for your plight and your situation will continue to have empathy for your plight and situation. But don't try to convince people to come join your side. Like, it's always been, and they don't.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would they be asking for black people's help?
They're trying to figure out how this man is about to get rid of the 13th and 14th Amendment and strip them of citizenship. What, you don't think they know what time it is?
And this is why I say, bro, which one is it, the 13th or the 14th? I always get it confused, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of them two amendments that made black people U.S. citizens. That's what fucked black people up. Before then, right? Before black people was labeled U.S. citizens, because that's what we wanted to be so bad, was a U.S. citizen, bro. They didn't classify us as that. They didn't classify us as not even humans, bro. We was fighting so hard to be accepted, bro. I think slavery ended before this, right? Slavery ended, and then you was allowed to become a U.S. citizen. What they done was enslaved you into the U.S. citizen to be a U.S. citizen, bro. That's all they done, bro. Once black people, and y'all can watch this. I made a video years ago, bro, about Martin Luther King, bro. When black people and Martin Luther King wanted everybody to be equal and all this and that, that's when black people lost everything. All the land, all the buses, all the schools, all the everything. Because when you went and joined them, you can't beat them, join them. That's what KD did. Fuck that nigga. Look at us now. OKC up on God, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat them, join them. That's what black people did, bro. We gotta call it for what it is, bro. We gotta call it for what it is, bro. When the 14th, 13th Amendment came out, bro, black people became U.S. citizens. Black people lost everything. And I believe that 100%, bro.
The amendment
Should have never joined them, bro. How did they come over here, allegedly steal black people from Africa, bring them over here and create a whole new bullshit ass society, whole new system that they just came up with? Who knows how crooked this shit really was, though? Man, we wasn't living back then. Shit was worse than what they tell us it is. You know what I'm saying? Black people have been done the worst on this country, bro. Or in this world, bro. Across all countries, continents. Australia, they did them niggas dirty in Australia. Niggas is really from Australia. You would never even know it. The white people done took that shit over. Now you think of Australia, you think of white people, huh? There's plenty of documentaries about fucking Australia. Do your research, nigga. They was racist than a motherfucker. They was racist than a motherfucker.
They don't care.
I'm about to watch one tonight, bro. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find that one that they showed us in school, bro.
They're trying to
That
survive
shit
their
was
damn
tough.
self. They're trying to figure out how this man is about to get rid of the 13th and 14th Amendment and strip them of citizenship. What, you don't think they know what time it is?
Yeah, that nigga knows some shit now, bro.
They got to deal with
Talking
their
about
own
the 13th and 14th Amendment, nigga. You talk about some shit.
I'm just saying, I see a lot of videos where people are like trying to convince,
Black people lost everything, bro. When you can't beat them, join them.
Black Americans.
Why would you join their system, bro?
Stand side
Fucked
by
everything
side
up, bro.
and
Telling y'all,
black and brown unity, but when it's something that doesn't benefit us, we ain't screaming that.
There's something we really don't know shit because nobody was alive then, bro. Our grandparents weren't alive then. Their grandparents weren't even alive then. When the U.S. first was founded and all that shit, bro. Boy.
Yeah, get mad. Go ahead.
That shit was fucking corrupt, bro.
So the guy says, listen.
It wasn't there. The internet holds people accountable, bro. Media, news, all that shit wasn't around then, bro. Newspapers, I mean, it was then. Yeah, let's be real. But even still, bro, like you didn't even hear about it until it was too late. Nigga already done killed your ass as the newspaper. Look, you dead sitting in your house in the newspaper saying it's a serial killer on the y'all know how they be driving by and throwing the newspapers type shit on a bike, whatever. But imagine back on a horse back in the Western time, they doing that same shit though. But you already dead and the paper don't get there and they say it's been a serial killer in your area for the last 2 months and they just now writing about it and you just now hearing about it. But you're dead. So you never even heard about it. Tragic.
Here are all the reasons why blacks are tired. He named numerous ones, okay? I don't need to get into all of them because we heard them. But I think that
it's time for a black baby boomer, bro.
Saw and what we hear about in Afro Latinos, they understand the racism that goes on in these communities, but it's also the hypocrisy that goes on in these communities. And one thing that I have learned living in a foreign country is that things can be very duplicitous and hypocritical. And the one thing that any person can't stand is dealing with a group or individual or anybody, doesn't matter the race, that you feel is hypocritical, that they want to take from you, but yet have a problem with you taking from them, or they want you to give.
U.S. General, cabs, carts, and a whole lot more, only at Harbor Freight.
Check this out.
They have over 1 million quality parts
that are guaranteed to fit. Now that's my speed.
But then they have a problem when you want to give back, or they want to be able to disrespect you, but they have a problem if you want to disrespect them back. And what happens is when you are known to be that kind of group, people start to disrespect you or not like you or not want to be around you. And this is what certain blacks are saying. This is not for every Hispanic person or for every black person. I mean, Hispanics are great people. I mean, there's some very many of them. We can't say this or that. But what we will say is that there has been enough encounters between the black community and the Hispanic community where we believe that there is not a lot of trust there overall. And so what the black community feels is this is hypocritical. Like, you guys are hypocritical. You're not being serious, okay? On one end, you're waving your flags and talking about how much and how proud you are of your country and you don't want to go back, but we're trying to send you back there, but you're waving the flags because you don't want to go back. But you want to make America basically a little Mexico or a little Colombia. I've seen this situation happen in the UK, where you have a lot of people in the UK that want to turn the UK and London, certain cities like that, into Muslim territories, even bring in Sharia law.
Hey,
but
bro, that's all it take, bro. That's what happens. That's what America did, bro. The white people came and they took it over and flooded this shit with Christianity, nigga. So why you think they going so hard? They don't want nobody else to take them over. The fuck? Come on now. Whatever they doing, the black people working. Now they gotta shift that to the Mexicans, cause they taking over this bitch. Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They deep. They deep. They really deep as fuck. They deep out here, bro. I really do see them more than black people, bro. Like, I was at the gym the other day after I seen something, like after I watched one of these videos, done a reaction. I was like, damn, it really is a lot of, Hispanic people in here, huh? Shit. It was more than them than us. Like, yeah.
Say deport these people back to...
I am in Oklahoma, though, bro. Y'all gotta think. Oklahoma's like, you go Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico here, Arkansas here, Louisiana. These is like right here, bro. These is the main, shits. But you got all the South states for real. But Oklahoma right there, bro. It's a lot out here.
Pakistan or
I'm curious to know. Curious to know. Just pull up. Black. Yeah, they broke up in a population. In Oklahoma, the white population is the largest, followed by Hispanic and black populations. Yeah, bro, it's like barely any Asians out here, though. I remember going to school. It was one Vietnamese kid in my school, bro. Just one. I think as like high school, it's like I think it was a girl or something. But boy, they was rare down here. You know what I'm saying? Now in Tulsa, it's a little bit different. They be out. They be more in the bigger city, but. They be in the burbs for real, bro. They be in the burbs because they be having money.
Or any of the countries that they're from, now they don't want to go back. They have an issue with, hey, let's go back to Jordan or Syria or Morocco or Libya. Any of those places, they don't want to go back and live there, but you want to come someplace else and turn that into where you just left. It doesn't make sense. And then at the same time, while you're there, you don't want to respect the people who are from that country. But now if we were in your country, you would make us do everything to respect where you're at. And that is a problem.
Facts. That is true.
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Yoshi Jackson back at it again. The episode of
that nigga said
the people who are from that country. But now if we were in your
that nigga said you want to be in our country and create a mini Mexico. basically. But y'all don't want to be in Mexico though. You know what I'm saying? So make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no problem. I don't really want to like be trying to start a race war on my channel and nothing like that, bro. Like this is all just friendly fire at the end of the day, bro. I don't got no problems with no Mexicans. I respect the Mexicans hustle. You know what I'm saying? But they is taking over this bitch, man. And whenever it comes to like the N-word and shit, bro, like, you know, why y'all niggas can't be Mexican though, bro? I been feeling like that though. I ain't gonna- Why niggas can't be Mexican? Like why you can't why y'all I don't, like I said, I ain't got no problems with y'all though, bro. If y'all cool, bro. If you not, you not. It's that simple, bro. You know. Um but when it comes to Mexican OT, bro, he's that Mexican. Like he's a Mexican artist, bro. So he's pushing Mexico, bro. So like, of course, whenever you're rapping, you're gonna get that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, Texas is a place where it's like where I'm from, bro. Like we cool with the Mexicans. We don't really trip too much off the N word like that. If you cool with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you not, then it's a little bit different. Like I said, if his whole entourage and everybody he run with, he do a lot of songs with black artists. I know that for sure, cause I listen to some of his songs. I ain't like no fan and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I listen to a couple of bro songs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he be rapping with some niggas. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't know. I don't keep up with him that much to even know. So, hey, shouts out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. We on the road to 100K. Okay, if you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, cause that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Get at y'all on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the 9.